Welcome to Dungeon Class. I'm Gonzo. This is Mark. Today we're going to be doing a home edition of D&D Adventure Challenge. Something completely new. Stay tuned.
You're totally going down.
No, you're going to lose, but you'll see. You wait till you see what I have for you. Hey, everybody. You may notice there's some different things here on the table than normal. We've got a big box here. We've got a silly looking hat, and I've got some surprises down next to me. We're doing something that's different for us. We haven't seen it done before. We're going to challenge each other on creating an adventure on the spot with items that we have collected from our homes. And this is actually a mental exercise, something that you and I have talked about doing for quite a while. And then that is that one of the main keys of becoming a dungeon master is you have to be quick on your feet. You have to be able to think on the spot. You have to be able to adjust to what's going on at the table, to the way that they burned down the tavern that you had for them with all the information that you were going to give them. Yep. And you have to be able to quickly come up with a new way of doing something. And this is a great way to exercise that ability. It's kind of like a mental skill or a muscle that you would use.
Absolutely, you got to exercise it.
Yeah, so we found a way that we can actually challenge each other in creating something quickly with items that are just found around the house. Of course, we tried to be as competitive as possible because the loser will have to wear this, I believe.
Yeah.
In our next adventure video or our next challenge video.
I hope it fits you.
It doesn't, so it's going to have to be you that loses. But Mark, why don't you tell them the rules that we set up and the way that we're going to do this?
Yeah, so we set a 2-minute time limit, and we gathered stuff around the house, and we made a rule that it can't be D&D adjacent stuff, so no fantasy kind of thing. So bringing like a Conan comic book, that's too close to D&D.
Or a copy of Tolkien's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I brought the video of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's too easy.
So that's too. So it had to be like as far away from D&D as possible would be ideal. And so therefore we gathered that and a point system. So what we're saying the rule is you need to use at least 3 of these items. We've each gathered 5 items. Mm-hmm. You need to use at least 3 of those items. Each one is worth 20 points each. So if you only did 3, you have a passing grade. I'm sorry, barely.
In today's schooling.
Today's schooling, that's right. Yeah, 60% is passing. So and then we also threw in some extra credit. Like if you did more than those, you get 20 points each. Obviously more than the 3. Mm-hmm. So you could get a possible 100%. And then we had some bonus points, right? For if we put a twist in there.
If we could put a twist or moral dilemma within the adventure, which would be pretty hard to do with the items that we picked for each other, I would assume.
Right.
But if we can add that in there, we're going to give you an extra bonus 20 points. So that should put you over the top.
Yeah, and in the rare chance of a tiebreaker, like we both come up with the same exact score, then we have a lightning round in which our key grip is going to hand us a random item that she has gathered, and we have no idea what it is. Mm-hmm. And we've got to throw that into our story. The first one that they can pick out how they could put that in the story that they created, they get to try, and then if they get it, then they get the points, and they win. So, well, I'm not going to need that. But anyway.
We'll see.
That's the thing. All right, so who's going first?
I think you should go first. You've got this big box in it. I'll be honest. It's kind of intimidating sitting there in a big box like that.
That was part of the plan.
I'm going to move this out of the way.
All right.
Your hat. I'm going to move out of the way.
Oh yeah. Right.
So that you can present stuff and the audience can see what it is that you have. I'm going to be taking notes and try to quickly come up with an adventure. Now, before you start.
Yes.
And they can see what you have. Before you start, we also decided that we wanted to make sure there's a hook within our adventure. Right. Some reason why the party would be involved in this adventure, and then that there's a NPC, a big bad evil guy, or somebody very important to the story that you can create out of this. So those are at least 2 things we want to have involved. Treasure would be nice too, but we'll see.
All right. So the first item is all-important biofreeze. This is every runner's friend.
What is
biofreeze?
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
Pain relief?
Yeah. Well, you spray it on. You spray it on before you go running, typically, so because something's going to hurt, like your knees or something. Okay. You spray it on like that. But
I can see why you would have that around.
Hey, easy now. All right. So this is some little device that I got from the kitchen, which I got in the kitchen drawer, and I'm like, I have no idea what this even does. It looks egg-related.
It's like a spoon that wouldn't work.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right, well, how about that there, Gonzo? I'm sure you can incorporate that into your story.
It's for hard-boiled eggs.
Oh,
hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs. I knew our key grip would know.
you.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, what? Picking them up because it's so hard to pick up a hard-boiled egg.
What the?
So this little remote control helicopter I have, I thought was perfect for the situation because there are so many helicopters, remote control ones in D&D. So I'm sure that would be really easy to come up with in a story. And then of course I had to bring one of my medals here from my half marathon. This nice piratey thing.
That I like.
That one I think that you might be able to do something with that. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
that
also
I like.
thought a little brag factor.
Wow.
As well. So there's that, and then this one. This one is a really interesting one. It's kind of delicate, so I almost try to break it. It's in two pieces, so I gotta assemble this item. So this.
What is this stuff?
What
am I supposed to do with this helicopter? In a
so
fantasy
nice.
setting?
This is actually a calendar. It's a candle.
Okay.
It's very I don't know. I'm not going to say because I'm
Okay.
going to give you some tips on what to do. So while you come up with that, we'll go ahead and start the timer.
Yeah, take your time.
Which,
Starting the timer. Oh my god.
So we're going to set 2 minutes starting, say, now.
Okay.
And I really don't see any way he's going to come up with it. I mean, seriously.
I should have
this thing
wrote
right
these down
here,
as you brought them out.
What is that? I mean, what is he going to do with this thing? I mean, seriously, that doesn't look like, it almost looks like some, I want to say Egyptian because that might help him on, but this thing
Yeah,
here,
it does look.
I honestly don't know how on earth you're going to use this thing. I mean, really, you're going to carry eggs around. It's like some big quest. And this one here, I mean, maybe piratey, but that might be a little cheap to go piratey. I'm just saying, possibly.
Oh my gosh.
Then, yeah, maybe.
I am going blank. Okay, so this happens a lot when you're playing
So
D&D.
this biofreeze,
your players will do something,
how on earth
and
he's going to use something biofreeze related. Maybe I don't know what you're going to do with that. And of course, this item here, it's an electronic item in the D&D world. I mean, really, how many electronics do you see in the medieval society in those days? So he's going to have to really. I think he's going to have to dig.
So
really
I only have
deep.
to use 3, but I need to try to use all 5.
If you're gonna, if you can, that would be really. But good luck with that. I don't think you're going to be able to come up with much with this. I mean, that's a random assortment of any kind. I really, I don't see how he's going to do this. So he has to come up with a hook. He has to come up with a treasure kind of item or what quest that they're going on for some kind of what is the goal of the group? Big bad evil guy and a treasure if he can. And now he has 35 seconds left, so I don't know how on earth he's going to get this done in 2 minutes. We'll see what he comes up with. But this is a pretty random assortment here. Stuff from modern day society in a D&D world. But honestly, if you use your imagination, you can make just about anything work in D&D if you kind of stretch. So I'm sure Gonzo's up to the challenge. I have full confidence that he's going to come up with some lame thing he's going to come up with, and he's going to be wearing that hat. So he's got 2 seconds left, and boom, 2 minutes. All right, Gonzo, what do you have?
Oh my gosh, that's not good at all.
Not good at all. All right.
So first of all, this helped me quite a bit because it gave me at least somewhere to start.
Okay,
and I like that there's a skull on here because there's my big bad evil guy.
Okay.
So this represents Ashrog the Defiler. And Ashrog the Defiler is a well-known necromancer, someone who raises the dead and uses that for his bidding, not someone that uses it for the forces of good. This is my big bad evil guy, and so I'm going to use that as my big bad evil guy, Ashrog the Defiler. The story is that he has actually created a cone of anti-healing. This is biofreeze.
Right,
so this is supposed to be to help you when you get hurt. And it's coming out of this giant obelisk on the top of a mountain.
Okay.
And it's sending out these waves of purple and green that are just emanating and it's spreading. Okay. And so the nearby cities are struggling. That people are getting sick. The older are starting to die. Even the young are getting very sick. And your party has been hired to go up to this obelisk and tackle Ashrog the Defiler. The problem is he's known to be very powerful, and regardless of what level your party is, You're going to need a way to get up there because he's on this mountain that is, like one of those bald mountains, very tough to get to. And you're going to need a weapon. And the weapon is going to be called the Yellow Claw, something that's going to be the side trek for your adventuring party. So the Yellow Claw is going to be some kind of device that's different than anything they've seen before, but it's got the ability to negate a lot of his necromantic magic.
Wow.
And then if they can get that, and I'm sure it's heavily guarded, and there may be a tomb involved.
Sure.
They're going to need to grab the assistance of a friendly 4-winged yellow dragon. Okay, so they're going to have to go talk to Golden Ears, we'll call her, and she's going to, they're going to have to convince her, maybe even do a side quest for her, and this all has to happen fairly quick, but they're going to either have to talk her into it or ask her for help to getting up to the top of the mountain where they take the Yellow Claw, and they defeat Ashrog the Defiler, his many minions, and deactivate the Obelisk of Anti-Healing.
Okay, man.
That's my adventure. I tried to use all 5 things. I loosely tied them together.
Very nicely done.
Maybe we need to review and make sure I have... And my NPC is Ashrog and Golden Ears.
Yeah.
She has 4 wings, because she does.
Of course.
And I have a hook. The hook is that there's an emanating disaster that's coming. It's a wave that's spreading. So I feel I get all 100 points.
Yeah, that's worth 100 points. I think you've got them all. That was
impressive.
Surprisingly good. Yeah, that was really good. That was impressive.
So again,
he had no knowledge of what was in this box.
No,
this is the first he saw.
That was the hardest thing for me, the helicopter.
Yeah, the helicopter, that'd be rough.
That was rough.
All right, so
hopefully this will fit you. Because you're going to be wearing this in the next adventure video.
About that. We might need that lightning round. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Key Grip. All right. So pass that paper and pen over here.
And sorry for the little skip. If you notice there's a little skip, I literally just blanked out and couldn't speak for a second. But I promise I didn't use extra time to think of the story. That was quick. All right. Are you ready?
I need paper and pen right on this
side.
Yeah,
here you go.
That's all I
need.
Take
this.
All I need.
All right. So we're going to do one at a time just like you did.
Okay. Let's do that.
I would suggest writing them down. I should have been doing that. Just kind of like what this is. So I can...
you give me tips. That's awfully nice.
I am getting
That's very sporty.
You're gonna need all the help you're getting.
Okay.
So the first thing you're gonna get. This is the easiest thing in my assortment of things around the house, and this is just a little. A little gnome of some kind.
Right, okay.
Yeah, or whatever you want to call that. Could be Santa Claus. Could be whatever. This is pretty obvious. This is a pressure point. Oh yeah, right there. It's a pressure point hook that you can use to assuage your various ailments.
Okay.
All right. And then you've got this little thing that was volunteered by my daughter. Now, if you're really good. So it's a musical instrument of some sort made out of wood and empty seeds or whatever that is.
It's a gourd.
It's a gourd. A gourd. Our key grip says it's a gourd.
Gourd.
And then we've got this horn here.
Okay, horn.
Made out of, whatever.
Okay.
But that, I'm sure, would summon minions.
Sure.
And then the last thing is, one of my favorite albums. This is Fleetwood Mac. And I love the picture. Because, don't choke on it. But... you've got this tall guy with a cane, and then you've got this guy who's been shortened through the who knows, and the ability to make sure the camera could see this if you don't have this album here, but great album, Fleetwood Mac. So there you go, and let's start our timer right now. Now, Mark, there's no way you're going to be able to use all 5, but if you can try to use the little guy maybe, but I don't know how you could use this Fleetwood Mac album. I will tell you one thing. This is probably near impossible to use because what's a musical instrument made out of a gourd? How would that be used in an adventure? I can't possibly see that. I just don't know how that's going to work. So one of the things you may realize as a dungeon master is that when things go different at your table, things that you didn't plan on, you may create a whole separate adventure that you weren't planning on creating because you quickly came up with a little sidetrack for them because they went a different direction, they did something they shouldn't have, they took out someone they shouldn't have. We've had that happen many times at our table. It's actually a lot of fun. And as long as your players are hooked into the story, they will know no different that that's not what you plan. So there's nothing wrong with getting away from the things that you originally. You have less than a minute, by the way.
No problem.
Like 55 seconds, less than that. So
no problem, yeah.
You better be. So there's nothing wrong with getting right on the keeping your characters involved, your players involved, with little side treks or things that happen, because you can generally tie in your overarching theme, whatever that may be, wherever they end up going. You can make that happen. So this is a really good exercise for everyone to try. We're going to do this often because we enjoy it, for one, and for two, it is a great way to exercise your brain. All right, time-wise, Mark, you're looking at only 25 seconds or so. So, if you can use all 5, that'd be nice. But I would at least use 3, and I gave you 3 easy ones. I took it easy on you this time, but I think you're going to struggle. So, and it needs to at least be interesting, because if I don't want to play it, then, I'm going to have to subtract points. We'll see. But all right, dude, 4 seconds. I hope you're ready. And Fleetwood Mac. I hope they're honored in this.
All right, so here's what I got. All right, so your party is approached by this gnome. His name is Kernia. And Kernia is telling the party, you've got to help us. You've got to help us. The dwarves, which are our cousins, the dwarves are being gathered by this big bad evil guy. He is a wizard. He's a wizard vampire, actually, and he's really tall. And he is he has this horn thing, or this hook thing he's been using. It's called the hook of mass hypnosis. And he has the dwarves under his thrall. And he's asked that you come help. You've got to break this. The dwarves are all under his spell, and they're being held against their will. He gives you the location of some items that will help you. One is this horn of rumors, which is known to block this and disrupt his power, as well as there's actually two items that he says are really helpful. There's this, and then this is the gourd of blocking, which is also
oh, that's ingenious.
It will disrupt his concentration, and he won't be able to use this item.
I'd say
here.
Disrupt many
so
things.
these are two vestiges that you could use to actually block his powers and save these people from the big bad evil guy, which his name is Mac Fleetwood.
Matt Fleetwood?
Yeah.
And is that the tall vampire guy?
That's him.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the dwarves.
One of his dwarves.
Yeah,
okay.
He's got under his power.
Yeah, well, I took it easy on it.
Yeah.
So, okay, wait a minute. So you used all 5.
That was a workout.
You had a hook. What was the hook? The hook is that the vampire is...
Yeah, the vampire has all of these, all the dwarves in the area under his spell, and the gnomes are really not dwarves, but they're kind of cousin to him, and they're really upset and really kind of feeling bad for them. And this guy, who's the leader of the gnomes, has come to you to ask for your help. So. And
you have an NPC.
I do have an NPC. I have a couple of them. NPC is in the guy is the quest giver, and I also have the big bad evil guy, which is Mac Fleetwood. But this guy's name is Kernia.
Kernia.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right. So that was.
That's kind of crazy. So you have 100 points. I have 100 points.
All right. Well, that means we go to our lightning round.
So this is a little too easy for us. We're gonna have to come up with more than this even, but we'll figure this out as we go forward.
We're better than that. All right.
So lightning round. We've asked our key grip Carrie behind the screen here to come up with an item that neither of us have seen, and what we told her is if we tie, she's to present it, and whoever says, what do we want to say? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it, and we have to tie that into the story we created.
Right.
So, okay, so are you ready to...
I'm ready.
All right, key grip. Bring us the item.
I got to remember my story.
For you today is a sweet potato.
Potato. I'll take it. Uh-oh. So Ashrog the Defiler, he knows someone's going to go after him because he's trying to weaken the general populace around him. He's created this group of undead, vegetable-like things that he's raised from the ground himself and has surrounding his obelisk and his castle. So when your party comes in with the golden dragon, they're going to have to face these potato-like, undead golems that he's got all around him, and they're just gonna get smashed with potatoes. It's gonna shoot potatoes. It's gonna have potato slings. I think that's I'm using it. I'm going for it. So this may be the general or the lieutenant you have to face before you get to Ashrog the Defiler, and I'm claiming victory on that.
So in my story.
It's a
The
little late,
vampire sorcerer has summoned up these potato-like worm things, and they are attacking the village
You're stretching
that the gnome people live in, because they don't want the message to get out that this guy's a problem, and so that's the creatures. They're not all potato people. What the heck? All right.
Yeah, no.
All right, Key Grip, who's the winner?
I think it's very apparent that Gonzo took the lead on that.
What? Oh, this is ridiculous.
Man, this is going to fit you so well. This is going to be nice. Enjoy the spoils of war.
So tune in next time to watch me wear this thing.
Yeah, you have to wear it the whole video. And you can't even mention why you're wearing it.
I can't even talk about it.
No, they're just
people
that are watching are going to think like, man, you're weird.
They're weirdo. Yeah, well, they're going to know.
With that, class dismissed.